Mainframe and shooting range.
Scanning videodisk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. Give me a hard copy of that. A bomb. Give me a hard copy of that. A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. Give me a hard copy of that. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Give me a hard copy of that.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354. Still working the explosion at the Tyrell manufacturing plant. It'll take a day or so to analyze the debris, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're dealing with a bomber here. Right now, it looks like the protesters had nothing to do with it. They were in too close proximity to have been in on the deal. No MOs or identities are rolling up just yet, and I'm still going through the inset files to see if any replicant munitions experts are unaccounted for. This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354, conducting the interrogation of Spencer Grigorian, leader of CARS, Citizens Against Replicant Slavery, November 22nd, 2019.
I once again asked that my attorney...
Shut it, shitbird. I'm asking the questions. We've already put you on the machine, so we know you're not a skin job.
That term offends me.
Okay, so you're not one of those biomechanical scumbags. And you claim to not know anything about the bombing at Tyrell.
This is true. We advocate equal rights under the law for replicants. We have nothing against Tyrell Corporation for creating them.
That's some sick logic.
The replicants are living organisms, whether people like you like it or not. Replicants contribute greatly to the economic well-being of our culture. They cannot be discounted as such.
Hell, it'd be no skin off my nose if each and every one of them was hosed down for good. You ever see this guy?
Why, yes. Actually, I have. He was present at the protest. He's not part of our group, but outsiders are usually welcome.
How many new faces showed up that day?
Not too many. A handful at most.
Describe them to me.
I don't know if I can.
Oh no? Recording off. Describe them for me again.
There was that Rastafarian fellow, and one of our ex-members showed up.
Who's that?
A Japanese man named Izo.
Why'd you get rid of him?
We're a pacifist organization, and we have rules. One of them is no weapons allowed. Izo refused to check in a samurai sword at the door during meetings.
Where can I find this Izo?
He owns one of those little second-hand stores downtown.
Let me ask you a question. Who the hell bankrolls your operation?
Well, we have a number of anonymous donors, people with resources and sources.
Such as?
So anonymous, even I don't know who they are.
I almost believe you.
Lock up.
Are they letting me out?
I'm not the one who makes that decision.
I suppose it's my turn to bear the cross for the cause.
You're Spencer Grigorian, right?
No. I really think my lawyer should be here.
I got some more questions for you. Tell me about your protest at Tyrell's plant.
I already told that other detective everything. Under duress.
I want to know about the people who were there. The Rastafarian and the Asian guy with the sunglasses.
I didn't know the Rastafarian. The Asian fellow was one of our ex-members. Izo was his name.
How long did you know him for?
Let's see. I met him about 5 years ago. He seemed so smart and balanced. He really wanted to help the replicant people.
Then what?
He started associating with the more militant factions. I was astounded when I heard he was supplying weapons to some of them.
What kind of weapons?
Guns so new that even the police had hardly used them, I heard.
I got some more questions for you. Lot of people involved in your cause? Spencer?
Yes, sir, we're growing fast. As more and more people realize that replicants have cognitive and emotional legitimacy, the Citizens Against Replicant Slavery will spearhead the movement towards...
Save the pitch for someone who gives a shit.
We're peaceful people, Detective. We live by a code that men like you could never understand.
Try me.
2 centuries ago, humans were held in slavery. Brave souls formed an underground railroad.
So, you help replicants escape the city.
I'm talking figuratively, Detective.
Sure you are.
We're not children, Detective. We have resources. The world is changing. People are waking up to the injustices perpetrated by a sick society that you have helped...
A lot of them will wake up dead if reps are allowed to run amok on Terra, jerk. I'm gonna give you a little test.
The other detective, she already tested me earlier today.
Uh-huh. Look, I gotta check out the equipment, and you're the only stiff around.
I object to this treatment. If you'll just call my lawyer, he'll take care...
Your lawyer would tell you I got the authority to VK the mayor if I want. And he'd have to smile and nod and kiss my butt until I cleared him. So sit down. Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
3rd sector, uptown.
Nice neighborhood?
Very. Is this going to take long?
Just keep your pants on, Spencer. What do you do for a living?
I teach political science.
What's your name?
Spencer Grigorian. I really think my lawyer should be here.
Just keep your pants on, Spencer. You're having a very erotic dream.
I'm sure it's very interesting. Is this going somewhere, Detective?
Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind about your mother.
Patient, brave, loving.
You're crying. Why is that?
Crying? It's nothing to be ashamed of. I might cry for any number of reasons.
I'll bet. Your child comes home with a black eye.
I'd call the school.
You suddenly feel the urge to commit suicide.
I love life too much to commit suicide. You wouldn't know about that, would you?
What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you?
I'm not answering that.
You're 7 years old. You managed to steal several marshmallows from the kitchen and sneak them back to your bedroom. You're caught, and your father spanks you.
Well, it sounds like I deserved it. But my father didn't believe in corporal punishment.
Like my briefcase? Department issue. Baby hide. 100% genuine human baby hide.
Appropriate. For a killer.
You see an oversized book with pictures of exotic animals on the cover. The title is Big Game Hunting in Zaire.
And let me guess. Pictures of dead animals inside.
Curious, you flip it open. There's a picture of a man standing with his foot on a dead Cape buffalo. You find yourself fascinated. You keep paging through it, seeing picture after picture of animals laid to waste, each more gruesome than the last.
These questions are becoming predictable, Detective.
You've been kidnapped. Your captors tell you that you'd better think about what you did to deserve this.
I try to reason with them.
Test terminated.
You keeping busy, pal?
Please leave me alone. My migraine's acting up.
Ground floor.
We get a new weapons shipment?
Mainframe and shooting range.
During his last election campaign, Governor Kolvig promised a bold new plan of action to clean up the worst regions of the highly toxic debris that surrounds our city, the so-called kipple. Just how much progress has been made since then? We spoke to the governor just before his weekly meeting with the city council.
Well, if it ain't Ray McCoy, Bryant finally let you play with the big boys.
My clearance come through?
You bet. You bring your piece?
Don't leave home without it.
Steele's been running the maze every other day for 2 weeks, and the targets are getting a little roughed up.
I thought Gouza was going to requisition some new ones.
I ain't seen him down here in a month. Guess he's been busy.
Poor guy. I bet he gets all tuckered out from pushing those papers around.
And don't sell him short, McCoy. Gouza could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked Vice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy. That weapons shipment just came in. You got the paperwork handy?
Why? You got a pressing need to rummage through my private files?
Yeah, I forgot you were keeping your lacy underthings in there. Look, Jack, I just want to see what they're charging for a crate of rifles these days.
Too damn much if you ask me, especially at the rate the assault teams are losing them. I guess there ain't no harm in it.
You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
Roof.
Nice-looking creatures you have around here.
See? Good product. Scorpions, my best work. Finest quality. And poison.
Isn't that illegal?
I have permit, senor. My customers demand authenticity.
This your work?
Ah, the dragon.
Dragon?
See? Anosoptera. Dragonfly, late of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. Estate item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenty money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. Might want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then, you buy a piece, right? For special lady friend? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon. Handsome man like you has lady friend, of course.
All my girl cares about is food and love.
Oh, how romantic. What is this girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie. Ah, Maggie, senor. It's perfect, is it not?
It's kind of ugly, but you talk me into it. You hear anything yet about that dragonfly jewelry, like what I showed you before?
No, senor. My friend, he's asking for me. If you come back later, maybe I know something more.
Might I interest you in a snake, noble one?
Not today, thanks. You know anything about insects?
I regret that I do not, noble one, save that I feed them to my snakes.
You do what?
Artificial ones, of course. The safeguards in the design of my snakes would not allow them to swallow a real insect.
I assume that this insect is already extinct.
They all died after the war, yes.
So the fakes must be pretty expensive.
If bought in bulk, the price is acceptable. They do not need to eat them, of course, but the added realism is worth every penny. Have you ever seen such craftsmanship?
Right now I'm more interested in the insect.
Perhaps you should ask the Peruvian woman next door. She's an expert on such things, and will cut a wonderful deal to friends.
I need to ask you...
Certainly the LPD must have better things to do than to question a humble merchant over and over again about the same things. Why aren't you out arresting criminals like that disreputable Bob fellow?
Bob?
He owns the armament shop up the street. He's insane, noble one, insane. He takes peculiar pleasure in agitating all the vendors around here. I cannot even go out for a Cisco whoop without worrying whether Bob is going to sabotage my snakes.
Thanks for your time.